C.J. Stroud and the Jacksonville Jaguars and Trevor Lawrence. They go head to head in an AFC South matchup. Now, last week, Mr. Unger over here tried to tell me the Houston Texans are going to win the AFC South division. And I'm having no part of it because they're not going to do that. They almost lost to Arizona this week. CJ Stroud, yes, he had a lot of yards. He also threw 3 interceptions, too, that were horrible interceptions
And
late in
yet
the fourth
Houston
quarter.
still won.
They did. They won, but they're about to meet an angry Jacksonville team who got blown their doors off week 3 by Houston and Jacksonville. They're not going to make that mistake again. I know Doug Peterson. I know Trevor Lawrence. I said last week they were going to blow the doors off Tennessee. This week, I don't know if they're going to beat the hell out of Houston. I think that they're going to probably win this game by anywhere between 7 to 10 points. But
No
Jacksonville will prove Houston is a year away. They're not winning this division, Josh. They're not as good as the Jags, and Jacksonville will show you this weekend.
Okay, first of all, so flexing starts this week. Hey, NFL, flex the Bears-Vikings game out of Monday Night Football and flex this game into Monday Night Football. Nobody wants to see the Chicago Bears against the Minnesota Vikings. I want to see the battle for the AFC South Division title in Houston. That's the game I want to see on Monday Night Football.
Why? So you can dream about C.J. Stroud?
No, because you know this is going to be an absolutely fantastic game.
I don't know that. Houston's not that good. They're not. They're decent. They're not a good football team. Jacksonville is a football.
Jacksonville's only favored by 2 in this game.
Which doesn't make any sense. I'm taking Jacksonville all the way. It's the best bet of the weekend. We're talking about best bets. That's your best bet of the weekend. Just like, how the hell? This is off topic, but you want to talk about wine. How the hell is Pittsburgh only favored by a point against Cincinnati with Jake Browning? So I don't understand the lines. I don't know what computer Vegas is using, but I'm sorry. That's a wrong line. Jacksonville should be favored by at least a field goal. Give them at least 3. I think they're going to win this game by at least a touchdown.
No way. Houston.
So no way. So you say Jacksonville, there's no chance that they win this game.
I did not say that. But I am going with Houston to win this game.
So what? So can I get Jacksonville plus plus 7? Because you say there's no way that they're going to win by a touchdown.
I mean, the Texans already beat the Jaguars handily down in Jacksonville, and the Texans showed that even when C.J. Stroud has a bad game, they can still find a way to win. You look at what the Texans are doing offensively. Devin Singletary is running the heck out of the football right now. Tank Dell is coming into his own. I love Nico Collins. Dalton Schultz, I should say, has been a great addition for the Texans. That's been a bit of a loss for the Cowboys, I would say. I don't know why they didn't re-sign him, but that's a different subject for another day. And I love the quarterback matchup in this game. Trevor Lawrence against C.J. Stroud, that's way more compelling to me than Justin Fields against Josh Dobbs. I don't know. Which game is more intriguing? The 3-6 Chicago Bears against the fringe playoff Minnesota Vikings, or the battle for the AFC South Division title? I don't know. How about the battle for the AFC South Division title? NFL schedule makers.
I hope Jacksonville blows Houston out. I cannot wait to see your face if Jacksonville comes in here and wins by more than a touchdown. I'm telling you, Josh, the Texans, they're a nice story. They're not a great team yet.
Are you sure Jacksonville is a great team?
They're better than Houston. I'll tell you that. They are about to go on a run. This is what Doug Peterson teams do. They struggle out of the gate. They go about 4-4, September, October, and they go on their run in November, December.
Look, I really like the Jaguars. If they win, I wouldn't be surprised. I'm not saying they.
You just told me
should,
there's no. You just told
no,
you when I
no.
said that they were going to win by a touchdown. You said there's no way. That literally came right. Russell, give me 7 points.
When I say there's no way, that doesn't mean I'm not saying the Jaguars aren't going to win. I'm saying Houston.
So if they win, they only win by a field goal, or what's that? That makes no sense.
How?
Because you're basically saying the Texans are the better team. Then give me a touchdown.
I gave you the touchdown.
What do you want to put on this game?
I won't be. I can't.
You're afraid. Look at you. You're afraid because you know I'm right. You know I'm right. CJ Stroud is going to play well, but he's going to get exposed for the rookie that he is. He's been a good story. The Texans AFC South fairy tale ends Sunday.
We shall see.
I'll even say this. Jacksonville is going to only lose one more game the rest of the year, and that's at Cleveland. That's the only game they will lose the rest of the regular season.
Interesting.
I'll put that up there right now. Look at their schedule. Cincinnati now has become a very easy game. Jake Browning, are you kidding me? Cincinnati may win 1 or 2 more games the rest of the year.
What about Baltimore? They have to host Baltimore at home.
They can win that game. That's the one game they will win because Baltimore will melt down in the fourth quarter.
Wow. You really believe in Jacksonville a lot, which I totally understand. I do.
Again, I don't even think they are a Super Bowl contender. But I think they have Tennessee again, who they'll beat. They have Houston, they will beat. This is what Jacksonville will do. They will get on a roll. They will win the division. They will be at least the 3 seed in the AFC.
Here's the reason I ultimately favor Houston in this game. Is because Calvin Ridley has not been a reliable wide receiver the whole season. Yes,
I don't know. He had a great game Sunday. He got 2 touchdowns. Looks to me like he's back.
Okay, let's see him go out there and put up a similar performance again. Who else do the Jaguars have offensively?
Christian Kirk, Evan Ingram, Travis Etienne. There's 3.
Okay, you got it. Okay, I'll give you that one. See, I would say the skill position players for Houston and Jacksonville are just about even.
Oh, God. Come on. Ridley and their way, takedowns, but Nico Collins is not very good. He's having an above average season. It reminds me of what Nelson Aguilar did in 2017 with the Eagles when he was a Pro Bowl. Nobody remembers that, by the way, but sometimes guys can have one good season. Nico Collins is not a good receiver. He's not as good as Kirk or Ridley. I would say Schultz and Evan Ingram are pretty even. I'll give you that. But
Devin
in terms of the
Singletary and Etienne are pretty
even. God, no.
Yes.
Devin Singletary's having a good. Devin Singletary's not better than Travis Etienne.
I didn't say. No, I said they're about even. I didn't say.
Etienne's about a top 10 running back in the league. Devin Singletary is not a top 10 running back in the league. Just stop it.
He's a top 15 at least.
Oh, come on. All right. Well, you're lucky that we're out of time. We got to get to our other top Week 12 NFL games. As always, this segment, I'll start first. We're going by window here. Now, we did not include the Jaguars, Texans in the list, did not include the Thanksgiving games that we talked about in the list. So the list here is a little bit shrunk. So in the 1 o'clock window, I have Tampa Bay at Indianapolis. This is another team in the Indianapolis Colts who, even with Gardner Minshew, I think they can go on a run here. I don't think Indianapolis' playoff hopes are dead yet because of their schedule. They have a lot of easy W's. The Atlantas of the world, the Vegases of the world, Pittsburghs of the world. They have some games on that schedule that they can win and potentially sneak into the postseason. Tampa Bay as well is not dead yet for the NFC South. Speaking of the NFC South, New Orleans at Atlanta. We all know this for first place in the NFC South. Then you have Cleveland at Denver. a very fascinating game because Denver has been the Browns' house of horrors. I don't think they've won a game in Denver in my lifetime. The Broncos are
They
winning
did
games.
back in 2019, I believe it was, or 2018.
No, they lost that game. Oh,
No, they
wait.
didn't.
No, 2019, you're right. They won that game. That was with Greg Williams. I was thinking of the one the next year with Freddie Kitchens and Brett Rippon or whoever was the starter for Denver in that game. So you're right on that. I apologize. Nonetheless, they have not won in Denver a lot. Broncos are winning because they're getting all these turnovers. The Browns can barely score 10, 13 points a game. Very fascinating to see which defense wins out there. Of course, the big game, 425, Buffalo at Philadelphia. And then to cap it off, Brandon Staley. Good old Brandon Staley. We get to see him choke another lead in prime time. I can't wait for this. Ravens Chargers Sunday night. It will once again come down to the buzzer. Brandon Staley will once again blow another game for the Los Angeles Chargers. And that is my list of the other top NFL games as we head into week 12.
So I don't have as many games on my list as you do because I just don't see a lot of great games on this slate. I would have put Pittsburgh, Cincinnati on this list, but Joe Burrow got injured. So no, I can't do that. New Orleans, Atlanta, I agree with you. New Orleans should win this game fairly comfortably, but for some reason, Atlanta likes to keep things close. I have no idea how they do it, but they somehow do. But the problem is they're going back to Desmond Ridder. Why? I have no freaking idea.
Taylor Heineke ain't great either.
Yep. So Arthur Smith is probably going to lose his job after the season, if I had to guess.
I disagree on that. I did
really?
As much as I think he should lose his job, because anybody that has Bijan Robinson in fantasy wants to put their arms around Arthur Smith and choke him and don't give Bijan Robinson the damn ball. Listen, they're in the worst division in football, and they're probably gonna win it. Maybe if they beat this, whoever wins this game is probably winning this division. I have no idea who's going to win this game for the record. Both teams are bad, but I think Atlanta's going to give Arthur Smith one more year with a quarterback, whether it be a drafter or whether they just go in and get Ryan Tannehill, who seems to be Arthur Smith's boyfriend. I have no idea what's going on with Atlanta, but I think Arthur Smith's going to get one more year. I just have this feeling.
Atlanta is actually a 1-point favorite.
It makes sense. That line makes perfect sense.
It actually doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I think New Orleans should be favored not by no more than 3. New Orleans.
I mean, home team gets 3 points traditionally, so the math probably works out about right there. I'm not sure New Orleans is as good as Atlanta. I'm not sure Atlanta's as good as the Saints. That's why they're going to play 2 times here. We're going to find out.
Yep. So I agree with you about Saints Falcons. I get where you're coming from with Buccaneers Colts, but it just doesn't do a whole lot for me. I'm gonna actually, you know what? I know I said I wasn't gonna put Steelers Bengals on there earlier, but I actually just decided I am going to because of 2 things. One, we got the major breaking news earlier. Pittsburgh finally decided, hey, we actually want to be good on offense. And they fired Matt Canada. So I want to see how the Steelers improve or at least make adjustments on offense. And on the flip side, how does Cincinnati look the rest of the way without Joe Burrow? That's why I have the game on the list. And then, yeah, I'm going with what you said for the other games. Not Ravens, Chargers, but Browns, Broncos, I agree with you. And then, of course, Bills, Eagles. I don't need to say any more on that. I do want to ask a question, though. Why is Denver the favorite for the game against the Browns? I genuinely do not understand that.
What's the spread on that? Denver by 2.5, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and I'll tell you the reason being the Browns cannot move the ball on offense. I don't care. I don't care if they're 7-3. The Browns and Steelers are mirror image of each other. That's why that game was so close on Sunday because Dorian Thompson Robinson. I don't care what anybody says. You can debate me all you want. He did not play well in that game. The Browns won despite a Dorian Thompson Robinson. I don't care what anybody says. PJ Walker has more experience. PJ Walker should have started that game for the Browns. He gives them a better chance to win. Why they're starting DTR, I have no idea. Why they signed Joe Flacco, I have no idea. The biggest mistake Andrew Berry has made in the Browns' tenure as general manager is not going out and trading for a Jacoby Brissett or even a Jimmy Garoppolo or somebody at the trade deadline because they made the biggest mistake. What I told you way back in week 3, Deshaun Watson should not play the rest of the year. He played, he got hurt more, and now he's out for the season. And they're going to probably make the playoffs because their schedule is easy. But the Browns have an historic defense that they are arguably wasting. And this defense literally cannot give up more than one touchdown a game because the Browns offense is putrid.
It's interesting that you're talking about how the Browns can make the playoffs. They're 7-3. Guess what? They're tied with the Jaguars. They're tied with the Dolphins. They're tied with the Chiefs. I'm not saying they're as good as those teams.
I don't believe me. I know. And guess what? I did the math today. They're finishing 11-6, and they're going to be the 5 seed in the AFC.
Yeah, no. Do I think the Browns are going to overtake the Ravens and win the division? No, I do not. Even though Kansas City has the more favorable schedule down the stretch, right now, I trust the Ravens more than I trust the Chiefs. So
I trust Kansas City more because I don't trust Baltimore's injury history. Lamar almost got hurt Thursday night. Mark Andrews is going to be a big wash for them at tight end. He may come back in the regular season. He may not. I have a sneaky feeling. I'm going to just say this right now.
Go.
If Lamar Jackson gets hurt within the next week or two, some way, somehow, the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to win that division. They're going to have the worst offense you've ever seen in the history of football and win a division because Burrow, Jackson, and Watson all got hurt.
That would be hilarious if that happened. That would be hilarious.